If you've watched any of my current monthly reset routines, you would know that a major goal of mine at the moment is to decrease my expenditure and to try and be more frugal and consumer conscious just in life in general. So today I want to take you through a week in my life as a stay-at-home mum trying to save money in a cost of living crisis. I'll be giving you some tips along the way on just little bits and pieces that I try and do throughout my week to decrease my overall expenses, particularly to be more mindful of my weekly grocery shop, which I think has a tendency to get out of control if you let it. So if that is something you're keen to see, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. Lately, I've taken to planning out our entire week's worth of meals prior to going grocery shopping. Not only has this helped me and Dave to be a lot more organized in the evening time, but it's also helped me to be a little bit more organized with my grocery shopping. I'm not kind of just picking out things willy-nilly and hoping that some sort of meal is going to come from it, but I'm able to create a list knowing exactly what ingredients I need for the week, and then just adding a few extra necessary bits and pieces that we'll need for breakfast and lunch or just other household regular items. My fridge was particularly empty, so I was worried that this week's shop was going to be rather expensive, but I was actually able to get everything for under $200, and that included both my Aldi and Woolworths shop. I went to Woolies first to just pick up a few bits that I knew I wouldn't be able to get from Aldi. Then I quickly stopped in at Coffee Guru. It's become a little bit of a ritual for me to grab a coffee and drink that whilst perusing the Aldi aisles and getting the remainder of my groceries. While I was at Aldi, I picked up a couple of things that I could put in a Christmas hamper for my in-laws. I always have so much trouble thinking of what to buy Dave's parents, and the last couple of years I've just taken to putting together a hamper of a whole heap of goodies. So Mum ended up giving me this big cardboard box, and I wanted it to look a little bit festive, so here I am just covering it in Christmas wrapping paper, which was definitely an ordeal. Dave came in and said that I should have just left it, but I do like things to look a little bit aesthetic, so I'm going to cover that first, put a little bit of paper in the bottom that I saved from a package I received, and then start filling it up with some of the bits that I collected. I just sort of got more cozy things like nuts, pretzels, spiced ginger beer, soaps, and some lovely little shortbread biscuits as well, and I'll probably add a few more bits and pieces in there later to make it look a little bit fuller. Back together. Wait to me. I used to have a gym membership which was $48 a month, which was actually pretty cheap considering that it included anytime access to the gym, classes, and the pool. But since having quit that, I just do my workouts at home from YouTube or just doing weights workouts myself, and I'm able to save that little bit extra a month and tuck it away for myself. It is Monday and yesterday was a no spend day. I feel like if you're just having a cozy Sunday, getting things done around the house, hitting up the beach, that sort of stuff, it's pretty easy to make it a no spend day. And what I typically like to do on a Sunday is plan out my other no spend days throughout the week, but I didn't get that done, so I'm going to do that now. I will be doing another no spend day today. I like to do at least 3 as a minimum every week, but I kind of just check my schedule and what I've got going on and then see if I have the capacity to add in a couple more. But oftentimes I will find Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are my typical no spend days. So for me, having a no spend day really just means that if I'm going out and about, I'm resisting the urge to buy myself a coffee or any other like little food bits to snack on, and instead using what I have here and making a coffee to go from home. It also gives me like a little bit of a pause if there are things that I am looking at buying, mostly online. I don't often go into shops other than the supermarket around town and purchase things. I often buy things online, and the reason for that is I can spend a little bit more time looking for exactly what I want and have that time to really consider it prior to making a purchase. And then if I have those no spend days built in there as well, I know that if I have decided, yes, I am going to make that purchase, I need to give myself like an extra day or 2 before I actually do that. And that gives me that little bit more thinking time to really make the considered decision prior to hitting pay now. So that might be a good strategy for you guys as well if you're wanting to be more mindful of your spending.
Appalachian sunlight meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
Please excuse the fact that I strongly resemble Dobby the house elf at the moment. Wednesday is swimming lessons day, so I'm a little bit disheveled. And after swimming lessons, oftentimes Hunter and I will head back to my parents' house for a cuppa and a play. I will have the cuppa, he will have the play, but we are home now, he is napping, and so for me, it is time for our payday routine. It is my third no spend day in a row, so I'm feeling really good about that. But in addition to having these strategically placed no spend days throughout my week, some other things that I do as financial habits that help me keep on top of our spending and our savings is, number one, have a payday routine. So once Dave's pay comes into our account, we have predetermined budgets and accounts for sort of different categories, and we separate the pay into those categories, so it is all organized and they're ready to go. So obviously the first and most important thing is ensuring the money is set aside for our home loan, which comes out every week. The next category that we set aside for is our weekly grocery shopping, and then we also set aside money for savings. Sometimes it's like dedicated savings, sometimes it is putting extra finances onto the loan, and then kind of anything else that's sort of existing within that pool can be divvied up to like whatever comes up throughout the week or fortnight, whether that's, you know, money towards landscaping and supplies, additional bills that might come out, etc., etc. But having that routine and that system in place just means that it is habitual, and just really helps us stay on top of our budget. The second habit is to track our spending and our savings. So if you've watched any of my monthly reset routines earlier on in the year, you would have seen that I've created an Excel spreadsheet that tracks my spending for different categories each month and how much extra I've been able to tuck away into either savings or putting additionally on the loan. And then I've also created a yearly bills tracker, which helps me sort of be able to think forward and set money aside for big bills that I know are coming up at different points throughout the year. So rates, home and contents, and, you know, things related to my car, rego, insurance, service, pink slip, which all come together at once, are definitely things that I like to save towards and make sure I've got those finances set aside for beforehand. Another very simple yet often not talked about financial habit that has helped me save over the years is, as my salary has increased with my 10 years of experience as a teacher, my expenses have not necessarily increased at that same rate. And I feel like this is what tends to happen to a lot of people. They might get a raise or a bonus or a new job, a promotion, and they're now starting to earn bigger, but also their expenses have gone up alongside that. They're now like being able to afford to go out for dinner more or travel more or upgrade their car. And as a result of being able to do those things, they are doing them. And that's not to say that you can't, you know, splurge every once in a while if you have the financial capacity to do so. But being able to keep my expenses as low as possible and, you know, just upgrading maybe the quality of my clothes, buying a few more books, you know, just little bits and pieces has helped me to save a lot of money over the years. I feel like just because you have the capacity to now do these things and buy these things doesn't necessarily mean that you have to.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.
I've come into town and meeting up with a friend at a cafe for a coffee and maybe a cake, who knows. It's pretty abnormal for me to go out for something to eat 2 days in a row, or even sometimes 2 days in a week. So I'm definitely treating myself at the back end of this week. I typically like to do like little meetups with friends that kind of don't involve spending money. So whether that's going for a walk or, you know, taking the kids to the park or the beach or somewhere outdoors is such a good idea to be able to have that friend time, but not necessarily associate that with having to spend. Even just going over to someone's house or having someone come over to my house and have a cuppa there. But in saying that, we do need balance going on, and every now and then it is nice to go out and actually have something out and about. So let's go and enjoy this little moment together. I love a good cyclic storyline, and here we are right where we were at the start of the video. I am prepping out my meals for the week and jotting down my shopping list, ready to do the groceries tomorrow. I was just in the study and looking on my banking app and using the calculator to tally up all of my expenditures this week, and I totaled $295. Now, other than our weekly loan repayment, we didn't have any bills come out. I didn't need to fill up on petrol, although in saying that, most weeks I am not buying Christmas presents, and a lot of the time I'm not having any food or beverages out of the house. So I feel like that's pretty good for a frugal week in my life, particularly since I did get quite a good amount of groceries last week. So very happy with that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this week. And if you have any cost of living / frugal mum tips that you want to leave down in the comments below, I would love to hear them. I'm always like thinking about easy ways that I can just cut down my weekly expenses in a way that just doesn't feel, I guess, burdensome, and that can feel fun and like a fun little challenge. So if you have any tips or tricks, leave those down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I upload new ones every single week. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.